today. Do you remember our last webinar about sexual harassment yesterday?
Hi, Lady. Yes, of course, I remember about it. That is the topic that I really want to discuss with you today. Do you know about the sexual harassment issue in this recent day?
Yes, I know. There are a lot of sexual harassment cases, such as a cleric who raped his students until parents harassed their children.
Exactly. And cases of sexual harassment are also still appearing every day. So, Lady, why do you think sexual harassment issues have started to flare up lately?
I don't know, but I think this is happening because of the lack of strong regulations on sexual harassment in Indonesia.
I also feel that the current regulations are still weak. So, in your opinion, why is it important to legalize the government regulation on sexual harassment?
Mm, in my opinion, legalizing the government regulations on sexual harassment is very important because one way to overcome the problem of sexual harassment is through government regulations. What about your opinion?
Uh, in my opinion, legalizing the government regulation of sexual harassment is very urgent because currently there are so many cases of sexual harassment going viral.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's true. So, Andy, based on that situations, do you have any suggestion about this problem?
Yes, I have suggestions for this. I think the Indonesian government should be able to make special regulations that are more stringent to reduce the occurrence of cases of sexual harassment in Indonesia.
Yeah, I also agree with your suggestion, Andy. I think government regulation on sexual harassment is very important at this time.
And absolutely, government regulation is the best way to solve a lot of problems because has strong influence. By the way, in your opinion, what kind of regulation are needed to solve this sexual harassment problem?
I think one of the regulations that are capable of dealing with this problem is draft law on the elimination of sexual violence or PKS draft law.
Oh, I think I have heard that many times, but what exactly is the law on the elimination of sexual violence or PKS draft law?
Draft law on the elimination of sexual violence is a draft law in Indonesia regarding sexual violence. This draft law was proposed on 26 January 2016.
Oh, yes, I know. I heard this draft law covers everything from prevention, fulfillment of victims' rights, and victim recovery to regulating handling during the legal process.
Yes, the draft law of the elimination of sexual violence also contains several forms of sexual violence.
It looks interesting and good. What kind of several violence include in this draft law?
They are sexual harassment, rape, forced marriage, forced contraceptions, forced prostitution, forced abortion, sexual torture, sexual slavery, and sexual exploitation.
Wow, it seems quite complete, but in the latest version, in the latest revision, I just find five forms of sexual violence, namely sexual harassment, forced use of contraceptive devices, forced sexual relation, sexual exploitation, criminal acts of sexual violence accompanied by other criminal acts.
It seems that maybe the draft law can change so that it can be reduced or added in its contents, including this draft law, right? By the way, Andy, I have a question for you. Do you think this draft law should be ratified soon or not?
Hmm. In my opinion, the draft of the elimination of sexual violence has an urgency to be ratified immediately because this draft accommodates crimes related to sexual violence specifically and thoroughly.
Wait. I think I don't agree with you, Andy, because if it is immediately ratified, it is not enough. Because of what? Because as far as I know, this draft law is also still a controversy.
What what kind of controversy? What are the reasons you say that law on the elimination of sexual violence or PKS draft law is controversial?
Yes, Andy, this is still controversial. Because of what? Because of some people disagree with this draft law. They think that illegal acts such as pre-sex and abortion will be legalized as a result of the ratifications of this law.
Oh, I see. But I've heard that, and I think that it's just a false misperception about this draft law because, in my opinion, this law will give more positive impact than negative impact on society, especially on women.
Yeah. I agree with your statement. That's why, Andy, as a good citizen, we must first study a draft law before approving and rejecting a draft law, including this law on the elimination of sexual violence or a PKS draft law.
Yes, of course. As a student, we have to study the draft law. So if there's any problem with it, we can make it right. And I think I have to study about it more because I don't know like about that.
Yep. We need to know something before judge something. Okay,
Okay,
that's true.
yes, I agree with
I
you.
think Yes, I think that's enough for today
Okay,
discussion, Andy. Maybe we can discuss about other topic next time.
okay. Thank you, lady.
See you.
Goodbye.